Hey everybody! Okay, so we got some really interesting clips about women treating men as their kings.
Oh gosh.
Really going to enjoy today's session. So we've got 8 clips for you today, and each is going to be more interesting than the next. You ready to get into the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Monday, we start off tame.
Oh my God!
Tuesday, we keep it classy. Wednesday, we let loose a little. Thursday, we start to get restless. Friday, it's time to get nasty. Saturday, we let it all hang out.
No!
Sunday, we pick up the pieces.
There you go, babe. Thank you, babe. You're welcome. What was that? I feel like I'm supposed to do that because of my hair. There you go, babe.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Nice.
I know. There you go, babe.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. Mrs. Williams, to you.
That's right, Miss Williams. Go on and flex on them. Any woman can convince a man to sleep with her, but can you convince a man to go to work every single day for the sole purpose of providing you a lifestyle that you want to live? Men are simple creatures. I know guys that are 27 years old. All they need is a TV and a video game, and they'll be happy. In relationships, all men want is sandwich, sex, and silence. Sandwich, a nice warm meal. Sex, that's kind of self-explanatory as long as it's consistent. And silence.
Okay, so what do you think? Are men simple creatures?
Yes, but somehow complicated at the same time. I don't know how it works, but you're both simple and complicated.
I think the guy speaking at the end, I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's got a point. We are simple creatures and we like those 3 things, but it's far better if you give us a bit more of a broader range, right? We're not quite that simple. Unless you're talking about like the guy that you don't really mean anything to. But if you're actually in a relationship with someone and you want to keep them, great food is a good start. Get some food on the table and you'll be laughing, right? Nice bit of good sex. Even those 2 things put you into the upper echelon of women out there, unfortunately. But then you've got to have like a decent sense of humor. Like it's important to laugh with your significant other and like have some interests that you share with them as well. So there's not just those kind of 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
Silence.
Yeah, what about silence, dear?
Oh, that'd be great. It'd be nice to have a bit of silence.
Not in this house.
Not in this house.
Not in this house.
No silence. There's no silence allowed for that side of the room. But like, I guess his point is more like having an easier life, right? And that's one of the things I like from my kind of girlfriend is to make my life a little bit easier. And we've talked about it a few times, right? But like the silence, don't quite agree with him there, or at least how he's saying that. But there's a few more pieces to it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely there are more pieces to it, as you've alluded to, and it changes for every man. I think, though, the crux of the clip is that women can and should treat their men respectfully, and if you have the time and the energy and the want to create nice meals and deliver them to your partner every night, then go for it. Do it. I would love to be able to do that because I do like to cook. Unfortunately, I'm usually tired and eating out is the best option.
It's an easy option, isn't it?
It's an easy option. It's the best option at the time. But yeah, I mean, if you can show your man...
But you can go get it.
I can go get it. Or someone can bring it
well, someone can bring
me.
it to you. Yeah.
To us.
To us.
But yeah, if you can do that, if you have the time, absolutely. Or if there are other ways that you can treat your man like a king, absolutely do it.
Oh, well, funny you should say that because we've got some other ways of doing that through other clips. So let's go to the next one.
Y'all losing me. Y'all losing me, man. Y'all losing me.
It's a nice little short clip, but pretty funny. I like this one.
Yeah.
But I think it's got a strong point. It's like, you know, every guy has their guy friends. Every woman has their girlfriends, right? But they're really there as like the extra support there, right? And I think the way you find that you probably have the one that you're looking for is when you start relying on them less, right? Now that guy obviously took it to the nth degree of like, you know, you don't want to separate. You don't want to get that toxic where the only person you're really with is that one person, right? You should have some exposure to the outside world as well. But yeah, they kind of go away if you find the person that you're spending the most amount of time, you enjoy that, then keep doing that.
Yeah. When's the last time you've hung out with your male friends?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's sure.
And same. Yeah, I mean, I'm not constantly giving you pedicures, though.
As much as you want.
Let's take a look at those toes. But, you know, I mean, we find other things that we enjoy about spending time with each other, and the other people just sort of fade away.
Yeah, well, you also kind of find that, like, you know, on the Friday or Saturday night, yeah, kind of sometimes I do want to go out with them, but the vast majority of the time, we're probably doing something because we've got a lot kind of going on all at once, or there's work, or there's X, and, you know, life's hard nowadays, right? It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to balance that time with, okay, the person that I love versus people that I can hang out with.
At any time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go to the next clip.
A woman needs love, a man needs respect. But it's almost easy for us to say, well, he can get my respect when he earns it. Can you imagine if your husband said she can have my love when she earns it? Just as much as women need love, your husband needs respect. Not only was he created to be able to need this, to receive it, he was built that way. He's going to be drawn to the places where he actually does receive it. Whether it's his workplace, you know, some of us are like, why is he always out of the house? Why doesn't he like to be at home? Why does he always feel so grumpy or look so grumpy when he's at home? But then for some reason, when we're out with his friends or when he's at work, he's thriving there. You see so much joy in him. It's because he's receiving respect. He's going to find respect in the relationships where he receives it. And if that's the case, we've got to figure out a way to understand that there is a true need for a man to...
Okay, so interesting clip. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until recently that I've gotten into a strong relationship that I feel that this is true. You know, I have felt for a long time that, yeah, you must earn my respect, man. But I understand now that that's what you need in order for this whole wheel to turn. You have to have respect. I have to give you that respect, and you have to feel like you are a man.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, actually. I think she's got some really interesting points. But I think there's also the point of, you know, both genders need love and respect, right? It's not just one gets one gets the other. But it depends on how quickly you want to start it.
Yeah.
Right? It depends on how deep you go into the relationship, how much of that respect you really want and you need to get. But I don't think men and women give the love and respect that they truly deserve most of the time to each other. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a true one gender's doing it better than the other. I think there's a lot of parts to this one.
Yeah, and I think the order of the two is different, you know? I think that, like she mentioned, the needs that we need are based on our gender. So I need love. You're going to give me love first and then maybe respect later.
So controversially, do you think women give men the love they need or the respect they want first?
I think well, it depends on what type of woman you are. If you are a woman like the one she's describing, or you aspire to be that type of woman, you're going to want to give that respect first and then the love later, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right with that one. I think it's a good little topic because obviously it's a woman bringing it up as well. It's always a different balance. Like if a guy says that, maybe it's not received the same way, but if a woman's saying it, like she understands, she gets it, she knows it.
Yeah.
So I think you're absolutely right. Let's go on to the next clip though. I've got some good ones.
Yo, females, what the fuck is wrong with you? You got a fucking good guy. A guy that will love you and respect you and do whatever you ask of him. Now, I'm not saying all guys are great, but the good ones deserve to be treated like a king, just as you want to be treated like a queen. They're sitting here feeling like they're not good enough no matter what the fuck they're doing for you. Every day they go to work. Every day they bust their ass. Every day they try to get you shit. May not be all the time, but they try. He sure does not feel like a king. He feels like he's got to work 10 times harder than what he is now. Remind him that he is amazing. Remind him that he is enough. Remind him that he is appreciated in your eyes and in your life. Most men give up on their relationships because what they're giving doesn't feel like it's enough because of how you treat them or how you react to what they're doing. All I'm saying is show a little more appreciation to your kings. Brother to brother, man, you're a fucking king. Keep it down.
Okay, so interesting clip. So, I mean, there's both sides of the coin, right? And I think a lot of the clips we watch on this channel, there's a one-sided narrative that can go into both sides, right? And for, you know, queens, they don't get the love they sometimes deserve as well. But we're talking kings today.
Oh.
So this side of the table is coming out, right? And yeah, I think that a lot of women do take advantage of guys to a certain degree a lot of the time. You know, because they're seen as the provider. They're seen as the inanimate object of the relationship. They're seen as the person that will be there regardless.
Yeah.
And the woman is the movable object. She's the one that can move around. If she's not getting out of her relationship, she will find the next one and be, yes, queen, you did what you need to do.
I think that's a very modern take on it. Yeah. I mean, historically, it was just simply, you are the provider and I'm here with you to create a family and you will provide for me. And I think going into, modern day, it's become that as well. And we expect the man to do those things. I expect you to provide. I expect you to take care of me. But because we want equality, well, you can ask something of me as well. It's not just that I'm here and I look good, or I'm your eye candy, or whatever it is. I have to bring something to the table as well. So if I want to be treated like a queen, then I have to treat you like a king. It's just yin and yang.
Yeah, like all I have to say is, you're looking fine. And all you say is, meh. Yeah, it's the right way around, right?
And give me something shiny.
Something shiny and something leathery. Yeah, we're good. Okay, gotcha. I really like that clip. I think it's a really inspirational one for a lot of women to hear, like to make sure that they do treat the guy as if they are the queen that they want to be seen. But it's a really interesting clip. I liked it. So if you've got this far on the video, like, subscribe, comment below. Give us some ideas as well. Like, let us know what you want to hear. Let's get on to the next clip.
If a man pays for lunch, I pay for dinner. If he pays for the movie tickets, I will buy snacks. If he buys me shoes, I'll get him a nice suit. If he's having a rough day, I'll help him out. Stop expecting him to treat you like a queen while you are not treating him like a king. Remember, a relationship goes both ways.
I think that's really interesting. There's 2 points to this, right? There's one around like being in the relationship, almost 50-50, right? So she was talking like, buys the tickets, I buy the snacks, I go for dinner, you pay for the taxi, all these type of things, right? So that side of that. But there's also the treating them the way that you want to be treated. So it's a little bit different, I think, to the last clip, where it's like, treat him well and you'll be treated well type thing. This is very much more around like the dynamics of relationships. So what do you think?
A relationship goes both ways, right? It's a two-way street. So when I need you to be there for me, make me dinner, rub my feet, that's great. And when you need me to help you out, you've had a stressful day, maybe we want something expensive. And
maybe I need a pack of Rolos?
Yeah, maybe you need a pack of Rolos, or maybe we want something expensive, you pay for part of it, I pay for the other part. I think that's the way that modern women think, and I think that's perfectly acceptable. I think a lot of our parents, maybe boomers, would say, no, the man is supposed to do everything, and the woman is just supposed to be pretty and sit there, and I am the gift. Yeah, I'm the gift, but you're my gift as well. And you've worked hard to get to me. As you said, women rule the dating game. So now that we're in a relationship, we both work.
And it kind of comes back to a topic we've talked about a couple of times, a couple of videos, is like, what is the role of the man and the woman? In lesser areas, we've talked about this one, right? And it's a very kind of different thing from the European side to like the American side of things, right? There's a big difference. Like, until I came to the US, I didn't really realize that there was this big gulf between what a guy should do and what a woman should do, right? And for me, there was always a little bit of like, hey, if you want to go out and enjoy each other, then you're enjoying each other, right? Like, okay, I'm probably going to pay for the first date. I kind of get that one. And I kind of agree with it as well. But you're both going to the date. You both want to be there. So that I don't think it's as hard a fast rule as a lot of people think. Like, hey, if you want to go out and date someone, please don't. But like, if you wanted to go out and date somebody, right, and you want to do that, then you should be expected to pay for your bit of that date. I believe that as a woman, right? You should be expecting to, like, if the guy doesn't want to pay for you, you've, not had a gun to your head, right? No one's forced you to go on that date. You've gone on it. Fine. Be expected to pay half of it. If the guy is fine with paying, great, you're off the hook. But you should both be coming with wallets.
Yeah, and if you are uncomfortable with that as a woman, then you know. If the guy says, hey, I'll get mine if you get yours, and that's not okay with you, you're free to walk.
I think that's absolutely right. Let's get into the next video.
Excelsior!
How many Filipino girlfriends did you have?
Many.
Many?
The problem is all she cared about was taking care of me, and I don't need somebody that does that.
Oh.
All she was worried about all the time is how I am and what I'm doing. Everything I do, oh, let me do that.
My man said she's doing too much. She's taking care of me too well.
So this is like the flip side dynamics, right? Because everyone has a slightly different way of how they want their person to be in a relationship.
Yeah, they have
right?
a perception.
So when we're talking about things, we're very generalistic, right? We try and talk about things generalistically. But obviously the individual person has individual wants and needs, right? So I don't agree with that guy at all. Like I want my girlfriend to be as like engaged with the relationship as possible. And like she sees something that can make my life easier, great, go do it, right? Not at the like expense of what she wants to do as well, not from the controlling side of things, but like, you know, go and do it. You want to make some brownies, make some brownies. You want to like make a pizza, you want to make a pizza. You know, I'm sounding very Luigi, but you want to make a pizza, make a pizza.
Oh my God.
Right? But like, you know, do what you want to do to make that person happy. I think that's a very strong thing to do. But he was saying like, okay, the Filipino, I think was the example, right? The people he'd married or been in a relationship a number of times were going too far down that. I've never really experienced that. I've never really kind of been with anyone that's been like,
too attentive
to my needs. And like, I'm like, you know, chill out, woman. I don't need any more needs filled.
I think that is personal preference.
I think so.
You know, I think some men would absolutely love if their woman took care of them so much so that they just were not necessarily neglecting themselves, but that their woman cared about them so much that that was all they focused on. I think they would love that. And then, like the example in this clip, he wanted her to take care of herself, think about herself sometimes. So that's an interesting perception.
I can't even imagine, like in the Western world, that would be a thing anymore.
Oh God, absolutely not.
I
don't even think, was there ever a time in history? Maybe, but I think it came and went so
Asian
fast.
thing.
I think in Eastern cultures, I think that is absolutely the norm. But yeah, here in the West, I mean, what can you do for me?
Yeah, it's more the other way around, isn't it? Absolutely. I think that's an interesting point. Well made. And let's get on to the next. So you get 4 points for each one of those clips that you can identify where they came from. But no, what do you think? I'm going to let you go first. What do you think?
I mean, I think those are valid reasons that you would love your partner. Of course, if you're a man with a woman, you would hope that she treats you like a king, that she's always there for you. She gives you the love that you want, not necessarily the love that she thinks that you need or want. Those are important points.
I think you're absolutely right. Now, I'm really upset that you didn't cry. Like, I was trying very hard. I got Disney in there. I got Minions in there.
Eyes of Steel.
I can't remember what the big fluffy one was, but I got him in there.
Inc.
Monsters, Inc. I was trying to get you to cry. I'm very disappointed that didn't happen. But honestly, like I think those are the 4 kind of key points, right? All I need as a guy is someone to listen to me, someone to be there for me when things are not great, and provide food. Food's a good one, but like just those kind of points I think summed up really nicely of like what guys actually need. And I think women tend to overestimate what guys truly need and want out of a woman, and
sometimes underestimate, especially if you've been brought up to believe that you were the prize and you were the only thing that matters. Then you're not going to be attentive to your person's needs.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, if you're constantly thinking, I guess, that you're the prize and that everyone should pander to your needs, do you ever think about not you, but would you ever think about the royal you? Would you ever think about the other person's needs?
You might not. You're expecting them to be thinking about your needs, and you can just sit pretty. Although I am sitting pretty.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay, I think we've got one more clip. Excited?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. All right, so last clip. Again, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and comment down below if you've got any suggestions for us.
A foolish woman treats her man like a slave and then becomes the slave's wife, whereas a smart woman treats her man like a king and lives like a queen. But to be a king in the first place, a man should act like a man and not like a boy.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
ending's profound.
Yeah, that's points for both men and women. You know, if you want that respect, act like a man, and if you want respect as a woman, you want to be treated like a queen, then you know.
There's a lot of boys out there.
Yeah, there are.
I think, and you know, obviously that was only a kind of 10-15 second clip, but I think the most important part was actually for me the end, right? Because there's a lot of boys out there, right? And you know, acting like a man is not acting tough. It's not acting in flashing your cash. It's not presuming that you're better than everyone else because your bank balance has more zeros on it.
Yeah, and it's not being aggressive physically.
Exactly. And I think there's a misconception nowadays, especially in maybe Western culture to a certain degree, of like what a man is and how to act like a man, right? So until you can do that, you ain't getting no queen.
Yeah.
Right? You got to have respect. You got to know when to shut up and be quiet, and you got to know when to speak. Right. And there's also the difference between like managers and leaders that we can kind of get into and like the headspaces that those kind of come into. But there's a real need for more true men out there. Not the, you know, the hyper masculine men out there, but just the Sigmas of the world, the beta men, the everyone else. Not everyone is an alpha, and you need to understand like what your personality is in the world.
Yeah, and I think of course we've been talking a lot about women treating their men like kings, and we saw the one clip where the woman was saying you want to give your man that respect because he needs that in order to give you the love that you deserve. But in order to give your man that respect, he has to act like a man. So it all goes full circle.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Great. So we had 8 wonderful little clips there. Did you have any thoughts on any of those?
Yeah, I think like I said, the woman that was talking about giving your man that respect versus the love that a woman needs, spot on.
Yeah, that's the ideal clip for.
I think so for men and women.
I think I agree with you actually. I always seem to be agreeing with you recently. This is not a good place to be.
Wonder why.
I agree. I think the last one is probably my favorite, but I agree with you on the statements. Yeah.
Yeah.
I as I just said, I think men need to be more men and less boys. But I see where you're coming from. Like the statement of like men and women need to be treated with love and respect is very powerful.
Yeah.
Cool, perfect. Well, thank you for joining us on our little video here today. If you like, subscribe, add a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.